Yo, what's the shakery in the bakery? I'm Kosher the Kingslayer, full-time jester and part-time videographer.
Allegedly.
For the last couple of years, I've been going through classic World of Warcraft and completing all of my childhood dreams one by one. Now that we're here at Pandaria, my favorite expansion, my goal is the final achievement that younger me was never able to accomplish. I intend on completing the legendary questline and becoming the Legend of Pandaria. But, with less than a year to becoming Legend, I quickly learned that this would be the most arduous adventure I'd ever been on. It won't be easy. And over a decade ago, I failed pursuing the same quest, right at the finish line. But I'd never forgive myself if I didn't at least try. And that's what second chances are for, right? Welcome, heretics, to episode 4. In the last episode, we completed the first of 5 chapters that make up this brutal questline, and a second chance at that legendary cloak and title never felt more obtainable than now. One massive hurdle, however, was completing chapter 2, which releases with the landfall patch. It is entirely PvP focused, something that I am not exactly the most talented at, unless of course it is IRL PvP with an unfair advantage, or taking out paladins and druids while fighting a world boss. But I won't get any better at PvP by moping around and thinking about it, so let us enter the chronological adventures I went on as I chased the second of 5 chapters from this heinous legendary cloak questline, which started on September 23rd, 2025. War often changes, as does my outfit. But there's good reason for this. I used all the justice and honor I had to buy a full set of PvP gear because PvP. So if I look like this, it's because I'm in my PK fit. War has come to the shores of Pandaria, and the focus of Raytheon's grand legendary questline is taken away from the raids and shoehorned in on the Horde versus Alliance conflict. And while we've seen yours truly take on enemy players in a variety of ways that would land me a spot on the villain wiki, to obtain this next goal, I would have to become Classic WoW's most evil player. Whoops. And I know, PvP isn't exactly the most entertaining thing in the world, and I would much rather tell you all the wacky PvE adventures I went on. Like the time I accidentally and allegedly crashed every Blizzard server at once and caused a 17-minute rollback because I made a Galleon group on a layer that I was effectively the only person on, blah blah blah. But believe me when I say, even though it's PvP, it's me we're talking about, and like with all things, chaos finds its way. Anyways, after a momentous stop at the Tavern in the Mists, I spoke to Raytheon and learned that this chapter, much like the first one, can be split into 3 steps. Steps that start by getting my ass to the southern coasts of the Krasarang Wilds. This heretical jungle would be my home for the coming weeks, as both factions have erected fortresses that also act as daily hubs, which means every player, Horde and Alliance, are gathered in the zone every single day, turning it into a massive Wintergrasp-esque battleground. For step 1, I am tasked with grinding an ass ton of Alliance Knights invading from Stormwind and Ironforge to raise my reputation with the Black Prince to revered, all while enemy players are slaying invading orcs and goblins from Orgrimmar on the same beaches for the same goal, turning the spot that was already outside of God's jurisdiction into Normandy onto Saxon, with PvP all abound and mob grinding overtaking my day-to-day activities. I knew that I would be on these damn beaches slaying Alliance scum for many moons before I was to reach revered with the Black Prince. It's a damn good thing I trained for this rep grind back in Cataclysm Classic when I was grinding for the Insane title and took out any and all players I saw along the way.
Look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Believe me, I loved becoming a Bloodsail Buccaneer by standing in one spot and killing the same pirate over and over and over and over again for 18 hours straight. It was great. And finally finding use for my rogue that I made years ago for 1 locket of Icecrown Citadel. But that whole grind pales in comparison to the onslaught of player conflict that found its way to me, as I ran around the Krasarang beaches for hours at a time, killing players, racking up honor, and grinding this reputation for the Black Prince Raytheon. I was simultaneously doing step 1 of this quest and step 2 as I was queued for Battlegrounds, of which I had to win 2 very specific instances. Battlegrounds are instance PvP battles that take around 10 minutes each. Think like Capture the Flag or Team Deathmatch or whatever. It's like that, but in WoW. And while I have a long history watching WoW PvPers, a history that started in original MoP with Wreckful, Mitch Jones, and Soda Poppin', if you ask me what any PvP trinket in the game does, I will piss myself on the spot to change the top topic rather than try to answer. So for step 2, I needed 1 victory in the King of the Hill style battleground Temple of Kot'Mogu and 1 victory in the payload style battleground Silvershard Mine. Now usually this wouldn't be too much of an issue. I just queue until I win. It's simple shit. But when every player that cleared chapter 1 of this legendary cloak quest is now chasing chapter 2, that meant that 95% of the players queuing for battlegrounds would just so happen to be fucking scrubs in celestial gear. To simplify, my chances of winning both of these battlegrounds went from about a 50-50 coin flip each time I queued to a 1 in 20 fuckhole every time I entered them. Oh shit, my queue pumped. It's time to do Temple of Kot'Mogu. Let's hope I win this time. It doesn't look like it. Aside from being visually stunning, the Temple of Kot'Mogu is effervescently brain dead. There are these colored orbs that people pick up, and whoever is carrying an orb gets their team points. And the closer to the center of the temple they are with said orb, the more points they accumulate over time. And if they die, they drop the orb, and then somebody else can pick it up. It's fucking simple. The strategy here is to have your team spread out instantly, grab all the orbs, then group up in the center, and mow down anybody who even tries to enter. It's all about controlling the middle. And so many fucking players decide to avoid the center and go off skipping along, staring up at the architecture instead, smelling the fucking daisies. After queuing into this battleground 18 times in a row and getting groups that were half AFK and half competent when I was lucky, and groups that were half AFK and half about as skilled as me at PvP when I was unlucky, there came a stroke of luck that made me downright religious. When queuing into the Temple of Kot'Mogu for the 18th time, by the way, did I mention that? My team spread out. What the fuck? Grabbed all of the orbs. No way, there's no way. And ran to the center. Holy shit. And as soon as we got to the center of the battleground, we won. It really is that simple. I can't figure out why it took 18 fucking tries. 18 40-minute queues. It took 18 40-minute queues to get a group that understood this fucking goal. But this meant 1 battleground completed. 1 more to go. I sure hope it's easier. Well, at least this long uphill battle gave me tons of time in between queues to become acquainted with the shores of Krasarang. I was running around and flinging fire and sinners for dinner. My reputation was soaring higher than Albert Hoffman in a hot air balloon, and I must say, being able to run around while doing a rep grind is refreshing, especially after 18 hours straight of that. I spent the rest of the week grinding away at Alliance Knights and Captains until I was revered with the Black Prince. Step 1 completed. Oh damn, my queue popped again. This time, I gotta enter Silvershard Mine. This is my 4th time entering this battleground, and if the Temple of Kot'Mogu took me 18 attempts to get 1 victory, then I will surely not see anything positive in these mines for a long time. Wait a second. I'm on the same team as Evil? Yeah, never mind. We got the shit in the bag, dude. And we did get that shit in the bag, yo. It's so straightforward. You take a cart with your teammates and lead it along a rail. Whoever is controlling it when it reaches its destination gets points. And then you win. It's like the payloads from TF2. You keeping up? How lucky was I to get into a group that was not dragging drool across the carpet and also had Evil himself. But the Alliance team proved to be fucking moron idiot children dumbasses who were all rogues and only knew how to sap despite all of us having immunities and ways of getting out of it, so the haha sap spam doesn't even fucking work here. Like, what are you doing? Alliance rogues are fucking
awesome.
Cart after cart captured and heart after heart ruptured. We made our way towards our victorious goal, and in time, with the aid of Evil and the aid of the dumbest, silliest rogues in WoW history, we won. 2 battlegrounds completed, and that's step 2 finished. Yes, bitch! 4 tries was all it took. Now came the final step of chapter 2. I was tasked to enter the evil dwellings of the enemy player's daily hub, the Alliance base camp in Krasarang Wilds. Work my way through a heavily guarded castle with evil racist Alliance players prowling the battlements and slay their commander, General Twinbraid. Yeah, fuck that. Even though I have extensive history killing gnomes and dwarves, some of which I have run into again years later just to awkwardly stare at them, I knew this fortress would be impenetrable if I went in on my own. I'd be ganked and corpse camped non-stop by the hundreds of players, frequenting dailies, and if not slain by the players, then surely by one of the countless elite guards that wander the walls of this fortress. So, I reached out to my guildmate Sendon, who, depending on who you ask, is an entity of holy light or a chiseled Greek god who eats nails and steroids for breakfast. But no matter who you ask, you will be told that Sendon's a legend. Him and I decided to take on the entire fucking fortress side by side, just the two of us. We were an army of two against an army of losers. Fuck. Alright, yeah, run it back. After a few mishaps that I certainly had nothing to do with, we rezzed inside the chamber and went 2-on-1 with the dwarf general. We spent many maniacal minutes slapping this punk-ass bitch around until he was no longer with us. Dare I say, antonymous with alive. Sendon and I had done it. The twin-blade, twin-tail duo slew the twin-braid bitch. And it really was easy as that. Step 3 finished! Yeah! With all 3 steps accomplished, I returned to Raytheon and finished Chapter 2 of the legendary questline, and narrowly escaped with my life from a fucking loser frost mage trying to ruin RP. Now, the Shaw Touch weapon that I got from Terrace of Endless Spring that same week, say grass please, has a wacky little intellect gem on it. Yeah, dude! This is fucking amazing! Oh my god, I can't wait to replace this in Throne of Thunder. After Sendon and I's adventure in Krasarang, there came a moment of peace and serenity, so I killed somebody and ate their fucking corpse.
Kosher does not hesitate to eat people.
Where did I put my fucking tape? Oh, hey. Sorry, I didn't see you there. I was wrapping a motorcycle that I bought and shoving it inside this tiny little box somehow. What's that? Why am I doing that? Because I've got a delightful refugee Christmas party to get to. Huh? What's that? Why am I going to a Christmas party in the autumn? Dude, are you serious? I'm literally undead, and that was racist what you just thought about me. Have you ever seen Nightmare Before Christmas? This is what Forsaken do in the autumn. Santa Claus is the shit around Halloween time. Oh fuck, speaking of time, I'm late. Late into the night, I ported to Dalaran in the frigid tundras of Northrend, floating high and mighty above the crystal songwoods, and met my friends for a delightful refugee Christmas party. Santa even showed up. Holy shit! After watching some Christmas movies, we went around in a circle, and our gifts were handed up to each other at random and traded about ourselves in a wacky little white elephant game.
Just so you guys know, I will say that there's one sweaty gift, but whoever ends up with that gift at the end, it has more stuff to it. Like, I'll send you a bunch of stuff if you get that one. And
so you just made us all fight over Sweaty's gift, is what you're saying?
Second bag, top right.
Ooh, it's the sweaty gift, and you didn't even know. The mages just know, dude.
And as fate would have it, I ended up getting the one gift coveted by the rest of the guild. We headed to Winterspring at the northernmost tip of Kalimdor, and when time came for us to open the randomized gifts we got for each other, I found that the secret gift that I got that everybody sought was...
Alright, Kosher, these are the other sweaty gifts.
Oh wow, troll sweat. A Haunted Memento, given to me by Shwedi, the one, the only. Full name Shwedi Balls. This Haunted Memento is an extremely rare, limited time item that was removed from the game ages ago. When in a player's bag, it will randomly spawn a ghost to follow said player around. And while my delightful guildmates shared laughter, stories, and gifts, the sound started to drift away, and all focus shifted to this memento in my bags, and the ghost that now sat beside me. This gift meant more to me than Shwedi or anybody else in the guild could possibly know. It meant more to me than even the drowned rat that I bought for 1,000 gold in Orgrimmar. But for me, this wasn't just a rare item. The novelty is not lost. If anything, it's redefined. This ghost is symbolic to me. It's not a nameless specter that appears and follows at random intervals. This is that kid that quit on the mountaintop in 2014. The kid that quit the same legendary questline because of fear of raiding and socializing. A kid who always wanted to become a part of an actual guild. And now, with this memento in hand, I feel like the ghost of who I was gets to follow in my footsteps and take part in all the chapters of this quest that are to come at my side. It's like, in a way, younger me gets to be in a guild too. He gets to be a little unseen, unknown part of this big, fun guild. This ghost wasn't a ghost. It's who I used to be, and for that, I'm forever grateful. With laughter abound in the pink-lit snowfall of Winterspring, did my friends and I spend the rest of the night triumphant and excited for what was to come. We were 2/5 of the way done with the questline, which means I was 2/5 of the way to getting that damn cloak and becoming the Legend of Pandaria. In windless snowfall, it hit me that this is actually going to happen. Without a doubt, without worry. I got my guild, my new friends, a ghost following me around, and I know we can do it no matter what lies before us. And in a snapshot of memory on that hill somewhere in the woods of Winterspring, we enjoyed the soundless, windless snowfall as the warmth of our fellowship began to melt even the rime and frost away from the pines around us. But calm often is what stirs before a storm, before thunder booms and overwhelms the senses. All the world was in that moment, the hill in Winterspring. No more, no less, we were none the wiser to what Chapter 3 of the legendary questline would have in store for us when it released. No clue as to what was crackling in the strange clouds across the sea, to what evil was stirring. But all of that is a story for next episode.
I seen death. He been laughing at you, Kingslayer. Across the seas with silence hummed, broken now by thunder's drum. All those wise have turned to run, and were burnt in sky undone. Lightning cracks and rain begun, flags now wave in sunless hum. Across the seas where thunder sings, a city forged by twisted things. On his throne with clouds churning, the dead bow down to the Thunder King.